Day 2, we're dropping back in on the Camp Brumby Trail, but we'll take the first immediate right, but immediately we'll turn right onto a connector trail that brings us back towards the visitor center. So I'm going to change the plan slightly. We're definitely heading towards the visitor center, but we're going to do the mountain first because today is Saturday, and couple reasons. One, I want to get up and over before the crowds arrive. It'll warm up enough that the runners will probably be gone on the Camp Brumby. And it makes good sense to go over the peaks first because I'm not exhausted yet from the 10-mile loop. So there's that. So we're currently on an access road that leads up to the paved road that'll take you to the top of the mountain or the bottom of the mountain, depending which direction you're going. We're on the northern map of the park, and this is the most popular area. And it's a Saturday, so there's a lot of people here. If that's not really your jam, definitely look at weekends as a place to be somewhere else. This is a new to me trail at Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park. New to me because I saw when they were getting ready to mark it out, or when they had, I saw it when they marked it out, but not the actual building of it. I just don't recall how many years ago that was, but it's definitely been in place for a while. Although with the amount of traffic we get here at this northern end of the park, it probably doesn't take long to beat it down like this. This approach to the visitor center is much nicer than the undocumented one that's just off to my right. We'll follow the undocumented one back to the vehicle, but yeah, I get this. I like it. I guess the bright side of traveling on an overcrowded trail is no spiders. Through the trees here, we can see the backside of the Georgia Monument. We'll visit that on the way out. That's a monument to all soldiers that fell here, not just at this park, but I believe in Georgia overall. We'll find out when we get down there on the way back. It'll be an end of the day thing. Off to our right is the visitor center. We'll visit that later on in the day as well as we come off the nature trail. So we're met with a decision point. The right is a very short run down to the trail. Hey, let's go see what this sign says. This direction takes us to the visitor center and the ranger's home. So just about an hour to the top of the mountain that the park is named after, Kennesaw Mountain. We'll go to the top. We'll head down the backside of Kennesaw Mountain, which will take us to the saddle that walks us over to Little Kennesaw. Little Kennesaw is pretty cool. Then we'll go down the backside of that. So soon we connect to the access road we were on before, below the paved road. It will connect us back to the trail up here. I've never followed that path that goes straight ahead. Not today, though. We're on the final approach to the parking lot, which is not quite the summit. This is a great place to have lunch. backside of Kennesaw Mountain, which will lead us back down to the paved road. It's not very far, but it is pretty rugged. Definitely much less rugged than it was 20 years ago, but you're probably tired of hearing about 20 years ago. The Joro spider, catching bugs. Cactus in Georgia on top of a mountain. After you've crossed over Little Kennesaw, the trail system is pretty chaotic for a bit. Okay, this one looks established, but it's easy to feel like you're getting lost, but you're on top of a ridge. You are always going to end up back on the trail, unless you decide to just go straight down. And there is a trail for that, by the way. If I can see it from up here, I'll point it out. We're going to go back down Little Kennesaw. We take off to the right, but this is French's Rock Loop Trail, and what this does is this takes us around. It doesn't really take us anywhere. It just sends us right back to where we just came from really quickly, but it does have some interesting rock out here. It's definitely worth coming out and looking at. The other nice thing is up here, it seems like it's a little more, I don't know if it's allowed, but it's a little more normal to explore the ridge a little bit more. Still on French's Loop Trail. And so even though this trail doesn't really go anywhere, it's super cool. There's a huge Joro spider right there. Unfortunately, that sign is missing. Off to the left is French's Loop. Off to the right is French's Loop. Off to the left, okay, right and left is a problem for me. Off to the left is French's Loop. Off to the right is where we've already walked, and it's going to head us down the back of Little Kennesaw, much steeper, and bring us back down to Camp Brumby Loop. We're still in the northern map, but we're on a much less traveled trail than the Kennesaw Mountain Trail, the ascent trail. This is the descent of Little Kennesaw towards Camp Brumby, and it's absolutely beautiful back here, especially with the sun coming through in the morning. Spooky cave. Spooky. There's probably bears living there, or wolverines. Oh, spider. Didn't realize that was there. Oh, another spider. Okay, almost fell down. So after we get to the bottom of Little Kennesaw, we could head to the Camp Brumby Trail. That's the trail that we saw the deer on early in the, I guess, yesterday's. But we're gonna head to Pigeon Hill. Now we're onto the Pigeon Hill Trail. I've actually never gone in this direction. We've completed 4.4 miles. That was up Kennesaw and across and down Little Kennesaw. So the Pigeon Hill area again has a trail, but there's a lot of evidence of people just exploring up here. And I have to admit, I might have accidentally explored once or twice myself. Definitely a great place to bring a small child who loves to climb on rocks and trees. So interestingly enough, when I discovered my blister on Monday, I was at a clue. This is the bench I tried to sit on that was absolutely useless because it's about 90 feet off the ground. But this clue is who took this photograph. George N. Barnard. So we're backtracking a little bit of the second map now, and we will immediately turn right off of that map and head back into the northern map, into an unmarked trail on the map, but definitely a maintained trail. Good morning. Taking the side trail on Hardage Mill will bring you to the unmarked trail that leads out to the 24 gun battery trail. And we're on the Hardage Mill trail. The marker instructs us to definitely go left for the yellow and green trails, but if we go right on this major trail, now that's a big bear. Okay, I know that's a horse. Anyway, this is a horse trail. Not a maintained trail by the park as far as I can tell. It's definitely not on the map, but it's pretty awesome to walk on. So we approach a creek crossing. How we know it's not a maintained trail is there's no bridge. The horses cross over here to the right, and the people go straight ahead and rock hop. Even though it's a primitive trail, it's easy to walk on. It's nice and quiet in the woods. Just off of this trail to the left is another very lightly used trail. Oh, a horse. Let's pull off the trail. Good morning.
There's a big one right here.
You're catching spiders, huh?
Well, avoiding them falling in my face, yes. It's not a pleasant feeling.
Have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Okay, I'm not sure if the camera was on or not, but I hope it was, because this is the first time I've actually met one of the horses on this trail. And I did ask permission. She said I could use the video. Because we're on an unmarked trail, you'll come across an unmarked intersection. We're going to go to the right, which will take us out to Burnt Hickory Road and then out to the 24 Gun Trail. If we continue on this trail straight ahead, we'll walk behind a neighborhood, literally in the backyards. Not today though. It doesn't loop back, unfortunately, so it would just be an out and back. So at this trailhead, you have to make an unprotected crossing of Burnt Hickory Road. This is probably the most dangerous area of the entire park, but it's also outside of the park, technically. So we're currently at 6.2 miles, 10K for the day, and we're headed for the 24 Gun Trail, the 24 Gun Battery Trail. We could go to the left, we can go to the right. Going to the left just loops you around this field. Going to the right loops you around the field. We're gonna go to the right so we can catch the shade. Here the park runs right along private land. As annoying as it might be to have strangers walking past every day, I think it'd be pretty cool to live right on a national park. Oh, we got our first snake. Hey, little guy. Hey, little guy. Let's get you out into the grass. A little ringneck. So normally at this intersection, I would come from this area off to the left, but I believe that this is actually the official trail following this tree line. Let's find out. Worst thing that happens, we're in someone's backyard. But I think what this is going to do is bypass a road crossing. I think this is going to work out. We'll find out shortly. See what's up ahead. There's a fence line and homes to our right. This is definitely a cut-through trail. I'm hoping this brings us out to the 24 gun. Interesting. This brings us out to a little cut-through. We're going to cross that road a little bit further up, but there is a trail that will take us directly to a cross rather than a short road walk. So if we'd made the left turn further back, it would bring us into this trail that runs right along here. It's just a tree line trail, it's no big deal. I kind of like what we just did better. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but still use this section here. This drops in through the woods a little bit and brings us to a road crossing rather than a short road walk. So now we enter the actual 24 gun battery trail. This will take us back to the visitor center and also the nature trail. This has been our trip today. We're located in this area. We started down here, we climbed over Kennesaw, across Little Kennesaw, down Pigeon Hill, and then off the map, and then back along. And we're gonna head right back to the visitor center, right over here. So this trail off to the left into a field will take you to a sniper trail that will lead all the way back to the main parking area down the street from the visitor center. Gonna have to ask about this when we get to the visitor center. Just a few days ago, this did not look like this. Ah, I bet this explains it. It's a restoration. So we're going to join the nature trail. It's going to loop us around back to here, and then we're going to have to double back on it a little bit to get to the visitor center. This is also a very nice trail. I think the nature trail is less popular so far on it. I haven't encountered any other walkers or runners. So if you are going to come on the weekend, I would definitely give yourself an opportunity to walk in peace out here. .16 miles. I guess it makes sense that I might be tripping now. Small ravine. So while technically this is the end of the nature trail, we joined the trail partway through. So we're gonna continue on around. So my question is, what is this? I probably shouldn't touch it. Let's take this to the trash. And this is where we joined the trail. There's a 24 going out that way. We're going to turn around and head back to the visitor center. So that pretty much concludes our trip around Kennesaw Mountain National Park. We're approaching the visitor center. There's a small picnic area first, but definitely looking forward to visiting the museum and watching the movie. Come on a weekday, that's all I got to say. Leaving the visitor center, I'm gonna head back to where I'm parked. Take one last trail. I wanted to stick around for a couple hours. They're firing off the artillery today. That's what a sign said inside the visitor center. The road to the top of the mountain and the Georgia Monument. This is an example of a sniper trail that turned into a maintained trail. This concludes our hike of Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park. We're back on an access road. It's going to take us down to the Camp Brumby Trail. A couple 100 feet back out to the street on our way home.